running through traffic with a blindfold on is not the best way to cross a street. By age 9 and without any guidance, Zeb's little sister, Gabby Funkbutter, was left to fend for herself. Navigating by Braille was neither comfortable nor effortless for the now self-raising youth. And since her self-absorbed narcissistic mother, Lorna, neither cooked meals nor allowed Gabby inside the house during daylight hours while she was present, survival became incumbent upon Gabby's hustling abilities. In order to survive, Gabby worked dozens of odd jobs and executed dozens of grifts. And by the age of 18, her American dream was already a thing of the past. However, her light bulb moment occurred at age 19 while at a state park. The sign at the Forest Ranger Station read, Gabby became interested in joining the Free Shit Army when she noticed that immorality, victimization, drinking too much alcohol, and being 100 pounds overweight were often classified as disabilities. This revelation led her to formulate blueprints for larger scam concepts. Here is her leading hoax. Claiming that she constantly hears crazy voices and therefore has anxiety attacks and cannot work, she co-opts a lawyer to work her disability through the welfare industrial complex. It is always best to get into these cons early, and since Gabby did not, she realized that it may take a few years to wind its way through the bureaucratic maze. The payoff, however, is like hitting the lottery. Just think, free monthly cash stipend, plus free or drastically reduced housing, utilities, food, phone, internet, cable TV, as well as full medical, including dental, and free or highly subsidized transportation. Oh yeah, and your kids automatically receive Pell Grants for free college. The welfare troops in the Free Shit Army claim that qualifying for disability immediately elevates you to colonel status in the FSA. Injun Joe say, me like public tit addicts. It isn't difficult to ascertain how Zeb's sister Gabby Funkbutter's persona evolved. She vividly recalls back when, as an 8-year-old, telling her dad that she had decided to stop raising hell. Her father, Roger, called her a quitter. Gabby had it tough in many ways. She had an October birthday and had also skipped the 5th grade, thus entering high school as a 12-year-old child. Not many high schoolers were interested in befriending a 12-year-old, therefore Gabby hung out with those who did accept her. Most were unsavory and unrighteous hellborn scoundrels. Older brother Zeb referred to them as human canker sores. Freakish, unorthodox, wacky, outrageous, offbeat, you choose. They all apply when referring to the Funkbutter clan. But carry on as Gabby illustrates additional oddities. And in order to survive, self-protection becomes priority 1. First, she lied about her true age of 15 in order to contest for the Miss Emerson pageant. And she did well, becoming first runner-up and receiving a trip to Cabo San Lucas. This hardly prestigious pageant began as a knock-knock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Emerson. Emerson who? Emerson, nice tits you got there. After the tit pageant, Gabby briefly tried to get involved in religion, but atheism was the only avenue which held any interest. But she quit that as well because there weren't enough holidays. Her next bewildering decision was to dive into the women's liberation movement, but stopped going to the meetings shortly thereafter. Zeb asked her why she had discontinued her participation. Gabby replied, I thought it was going to be all about camaraderie, empowerment, and equality, but it was nothing but a bunch of man-haters. Not only did I deem hating half of the human population to be an imbecilic notion, they would adjourn every meeting with furrowed brows, bitterness, and anger, along with the same tired joke. Why did God create men? Because dildos can't mow the lawn. The Great Society programs are the root cause of poverty. When you make people dependent, they will act like immature, irresponsible children. We have a well-oiled government machine who will, in exchange for votes, work to ensure that those who refuse to be responsible never have to suffer for it. And there are 47 million voting animals that rely on it now. Gabby Funkbutter became one of them after thinking to herself, why am I working my fingers to the bone, yet only retaining half of what I have earned, when I can just vote myself more free shit? You see, when you allow the parasites to plunder the productive, don't be surprised when the productive give up. Tired of life on the plantation while having somewhere between 40 and 70% of her income extracted by means of fines, fees, taxes, and bullshittery, Gabby found it more feasible to have zero income. Heck, the federal government provides 126 separate programs targeted toward low-income people. Knowing that government cheese is quite addicting, Gabby elected to join the free shit army. Hit it, Gabby! On the dole again. Just can't wait to get on the dole again. The life I love is taking free shit with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the dole again. On the dole again. Scoring freebies like I've never been. Stealing things I haven't earned again. So I can't wait to get on the dole again. Injun Joe say, only in shower, please. While she was still getting paid the equivalent of dog biscuits, at least welfare membership has some privileges. Personnel in the free shit army receive free food, energy, housing, medical care, transportation, and internet phone access. Add in some occasional cash work, and you are now gaming the system rather than the system gaming you. It doesn't bother Gabby that many will not accept what they perceive as defective thought. These failed programs, which have cost American taxpayers $22 trillion, rightfully offend many people's sensibilities because they believe one should pay their own way in life and not live as parasites upon others. The productive citizenry do not believe that teaching people to want other people's stuff without earning it to be wise policy. They are also more than aware that, unfortunately, the more you help the poor, the more poor you get. Being good at something creates pride and a sense of self-worth. Handouts do neither, as this prolonged idleness paralyzes initiative. In unison with that, we are a much more global economy now, and many employers simply cannot offer high enough wages to entice those on welfare to join the workforce. With the current benefits the free shit army receives, they would actually be taking a pay cut if they opted to work. Gabby speaks. Yes, this womb-to-tomb care has indeed paralyzed initiative, and yes, I have taken dumps which were more productive than many of these slugs. But this governmental empowering of victimhood is the primary barrier to people becoming responsible. My comrades in the free shit army know how to fill out job applications in such a way so as to ensure that they would never get the job offer. Gabby knows many of them and offers insight on some of the dole participants' schemes. With 200 food banks and 60,000 meal programs, over 3 billion free meals are served each year. This allows those in the free shit army to make use of food banks for their free foods such as produce, beans, soups, and breads, then use their EBT cards for treats such as steak and seafood. Most, however, spend little on food for themselves, preferring to trade their food stamps. Some will buy cases of soda pop utilizing food stamps and resell them at 50 cents on the dollar, while others will bring into play the liquor store that accepts EBT and rings up the entire $600 monthly stipend of food stamps and gives them $300 cash. The welfare recipient then buys a bunch of Kraft macaroni and cheese, plus eats at charitable events, with the remaining cash going to booze, drugs, and cigarettes. And stunningly, the government also issues pet food stamps. The free shit army has this angle figured out as well and just resells it. Other schemes include doing childcare for other Section 8 mommies and selling their disability pills for extra cash. Oftentimes, it's not the cards you're dealt in life, but how you play them. Those with slightly more motivation than a lump of pig fungus go on to seek colonel status in the free shit army because it is the highest position for those on the government plantation. It's called disability, and here is how Gabby punches her golden ticket. You must first design your disability in a more permanent manner so that you will be paid to maintain your inability to work. Befriending a bureaucrat of your same ethnic makeup is important because these programs are staffed by differing ethnicities who tend to interpret guidelines which favor their tribe, just like these two in the red race. Have a good story rehearsed which bolsters your claim of victimhood. This will help secure disability and social services, but it is deliberately made difficult to achieve colonel status in the FSA. In order to be declared disabled and receive Social Security disability payments, many quack doctors' visits, lots of quack lawyering, and a few years of time are obligatory. That is why most give up. Don't give up and you'll eventually embark on this gravy train. Get a job, then get fired soon thereafter for not being able to handle the job. Once several employers claim that you are incapable of doing the work, that becomes further evidence in regards to your disability. You know there has been a cultural integrity shift when the only disability many suffer from is a lack of ethics. There are now 23 million who have reached colonel status, and inextricably linked to this haven for fraud, upwards of 80% of law enforcement seek disability retirement. Time to get yours.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Just remember, folks, the fictional Gabby Funkbutter is so full of shit, his eyes are hazel. And we pray you consider subscribing.
I say right on.